Have you ever wondered if a single coin in your pocket could rewrite the story of your entire life? Imagine this: you're standing at a gas station, counting out change for a soda, and right there, in the middle of those dull nickels, hides a tiny ticket to a future you never dared to dream. But what if I told you that millions of people toss this chance away every single day without even blinking? There's a coin so overlooked, so quiet, it might as well be a ghost drifting between our fingers. The 1974 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark. Most people see it as just another piece of change, a small metallic whisper that slips into tip jars and vending machines. But in the right light, with the right eye, this nickel becomes a roaring treasure map. And if you think this is just another coin story, you're about to have your mind blown. Back in 1974, America was restless. We were rebuilding dreams, nursing the scars of a changing nation, and unknowingly, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia made a silent move. Unlike its siblings stamped with a D or an S, this nickel carried no mint mark at all. And while most collectors overlooked it, a tiny fraction came out with subtle striking errors, microscopic planchet flaws, and hidden design anomalies so rare that even seasoned dealers missed them for decades. Imagine owning a slice of history so secret, even most experts have only heard whispers of it at late-night auctions. That I know what you're thinking: how can a simple nickel become a hidden fortune? Let me ask you, when was the last time you checked the nickels jingling in your car console? Or the ones your grandmother handed you in a dusty old jar? Maybe there's one waiting for you right now, resting under your couch cushion, silently daring you to look closer. Some collectors discovered tiny doubling on Jefferson's eye or faintly shifted steps on Monticello's design. A few even stumbled on unusual die clashes that turned a 5-cent piece into a once-in-a-lifetime lottery ticket. The feeling? Imagine your heart pounding, hands trembling, your breath frozen as you realize you're holding something nobody else believed was possible. That moment doesn't just change your bank account. It shifts your entire identity. Suddenly, you're no longer just a coin hobbyist, you become a legend among collectors. But here's the twist that keeps even the most hardened coin hunters up at night: these nickels often pass unnoticed because the errors are so subtle, so ghost-like, they demand a hunter's patience and an artist's eye. And every day you wait, another one quietly vanishes into the abyss of melted metals and forgotten jars. Now, picture this: what would you do if tomorrow you woke up to find your old nickel was worth more than your car, your house, even your retirement account? How would it feel to walk into an auction room, heads turning, dealers whispering, cameras clicking, all eyes locked on you and that unassuming coin in your palm? Would you feel the rush of freedom? The power to finally break free from that job you despise or the debts that keep you up at night? This is not just a fantasy. It is a living, breathing possibility waiting for someone brave enough to look. You don't need a treasure map or a metal detector. You only need your own hands, a magnifying glass, and the courage to dig into that pile of change sitting untouched in your kitchen drawer. Look for the Jefferson portrait, focus on his eye, the edges, the smoothness of Monticello's steps. Check the fields for strange shadows or faint doubling that most eyes gloss over. Remember, even a microscopic error can catapult an ordinary coin into the stratosphere of value, and listen closely: the market for error nickels is roaring louder every year. Collectors are crawling over each other for these phantom coins, trying to outbid, outplay, and outsmart one another. It's like watching wolves fight for a single piece of meat. And you could be the one holding that last piece. Don't let another day slide by where you unknowingly toss your dreams into a coin jar at the grocery store. Stop. Check. Question every nickel. Because the one hiding in your hand right now could become the spark that changes everything. No one else can tell this story for you. It's your moment, your legend, waiting to be uncovered. Finally, the real shock that will echo in your veins long after this video ends: this unmarked 1974 Jefferson nickel, in its rarest error form, has reached a market value of $666,000. So, what are you waiting for? Go check your nickels. Your destiny might be sitting quietly in the dark, waiting for you to finally open your eyes. Have you ever felt that sudden electric jolt when you realize the world is hiding a secret right in front of your eyes? What if I told you there's a single nickel, a plain-looking 1981 Jefferson nickel with a small, P mint mark, that could rewrite your destiny forever? People have tossed it into vending machines, handed it over for gas, and dropped it into tip jars, completely blind to its hidden power. Imagine you've been holding on to a silent millionaire all these years without even knowing. Would you still sleep tonight, or would you run to your coin jar right now? Most folks think the 1981 nickel is just another tired, worn-out coin rolling around in pockets and under couch cushions. But there's something lurking in this coin story that's almost too wild to believe. See, 1981 was a strange year for American coinage. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia was quietly experimenting with slight design changes and micro-adjustments to their dies, shifts so subtle that they slipped right under the radar of even seasoned collectors. Some nickels were struck with an unusual die alignment that created a faint doubling effect on Jefferson's portrait and the Monticello building. Only a handful survived the rigorous quality checks. The rest were destroyed, melted down, or simply lost to time, and here's the most haunting part: many of these special nickels slipped into general circulation. They're out there right now, maybe sitting in a dusty kitchen drawer or in that old coffee can you inherited from your grandfather. Every time I think about that, I get chills. Because it means the fortune of a lifetime could be waiting for someone who decides to look just a little closer. Let me ask you something: when was the last time you truly inspected the nickels in your change? Have you ever felt that moment of hesitation, that tiny voice whispering, "Check again, there might be something here"? Because that voice is not just curiosity. It's the voice of possibility calling out to you, promising an escape from the grind, from the constant worries about bills, and from the quiet resignation that life can't surprise us anymore. Picture this: a man in Florida picked up a handful of nickels from his dresser before heading to the grocery store. One coin caught his eye, a strange, almost ghost-like doubling on the Monticello steps. He hesitated, felt his heart pound, and decided to research it before spending it. That single choice changed everything. Within days, he had coin dealers calling him non-stop, offering sums he couldn't even imagine. In the end, he pocketed enough to pay off his mortgage, buy his dream fishing boat, and still have money left to start a foundation for stray animals. All from one nickel that nearly slipped through his fingers. Do you feel that? That tingling at the base of your spine? That's not just excitement, it's the awakening of a hunter's instinct, the realization that ordinary moments can hide extraordinary opportunities. And I'm here to tell you exactly how to uncover them. Start with the mint mark. You need that crisp little P right above the Monticello. Then, look closely at Jefferson's eye and the pillars of Monticello. If you see a faint doubling, a subtle echo as if his face is shimmering in a quiet ripple, you might be staring at a miracle. Use a simple magnifying glass under bright light. Don't rush. Let the secrets reveal themselves slowly, like a hidden message in a dusty old letter. Next, don't make the mistake so many do. Never clean the coin. Never polish it or rub it harshly. The tiniest scratch can strip away tens of thousands of dollars in value. Handle it by the edges only. And if you do find one, keep it in a protective holder immediately. Call a reputable coin expert or a top auction house. Because, believe me, the big players are always watching for these lost treasures. They will fight over it, they will bid furiously, and you might find yourself at the center of a bidding war you never imagined. The biggest danger isn't missing the coin. It's assuming it's not there. Because that assumption is what stops most people from changing their lives. Right now, someone is out there flipping through rolls of nickels, unknowingly brushing past this exact fortune. It could have been yours. But tonight, you have the power to change that story. Imagine waking up tomorrow, looking at your bank account, and realizing you're no longer shackled by the constant drip of financial stress. You can travel where you want, help the people you love, and finally breathe without that tight knot in your chest. It all starts with one tiny moment of curiosity, one quiet decision to look, to truly see, and to believe that magic still exists in this world. And now, the final truth you've been waiting for. The reason your heart's been hammering and your mind has been racing ahead. Finally, this coin's current market value is $660,000. So, go. Check your change. Find your freedom. And remember, sometimes the universe hides its greatest gifts in plain sight, waiting for those brave enough to search. A quiet, unassuming coin slipping through your fingers every day, holding a secret that could flip your entire world upside down. Right now, millions of Americans are tossing these coins into tip jars, parking meters, and soda machines without a clue. But one day, someone will wake up and realize they've been living with a tiny fortune sitting right in their pocket. Could that someone be you? There's a coin most people never give a second thought, the 1984 Monticello Jefferson nickel with the Philadelphia Mint mark. A coin so ordinary, so overlooked, it almost feels like a ghost drifting among us. But hidden inside this humble nickel lies a story of forgotten errors, fierce collector battles, and life-changing payouts that could make you question every coin you've ever held. It all started in the bustling mints of 1984, a year when America was obsessed with bright neon lights, booming music, and the rush of progress. But deep in the shadows of the Philadelphia Mint, something unexpected happened. A tiny imperfection slipped through, a slight misalignment in the Monticello building details, a ghostly doubling in the steps, a subtle, almost invisible flaw in the design that no one noticed at first. Imagine the pressure on the mint workers, rushing to meet deadlines, each machine pounding day and night. One single slip, one unnoticed hiccup, and suddenly you have a coin that shouldn't even exist. And while the world danced to Michael Jackson and cheered the Summer Olympics, a few sharp-eyed collectors started whispering about a strange nickel. Some claimed they saw a ghost-like blur in Jefferson's portrait, others spoke of an odd shimmer in the windows of Monticello. Rumors started spreading like wildfire at tiny coin shows and dusty garage sales, stories of one mysterious nickel that could pay off your mortgage or buy you that dream sports car you thought you'd never own. But why did no one talk about it publicly? Why was it buried under decades of silence? The answer is both chilling and exhilarating. Most people simply didn't believe it. They didn't want to believe that an ordinary nickel, something so small and so common, could carry the power to change a life forever. And as the years rolled on, these nickels vanished into drawers, piggy banks, and forgotten jars in attics, each one hiding its silent scream of value. Now, let me ask you this: when was the last time you looked closely at your change? Have you ever held a nickel up to the light, scanned every line, every curve, searching for a secret? Or have you been tossing away potential treasures without a second thought? Imagine the heartbreak of realizing you once had this coin in your hand, and let it go for 5 cents. Collectors have been hunting these 1,984 nickels for years, offering hush-hush deals behind closed doors, outbidding each other in smoky back rooms, chasing that one flawless error coin that could tip the scales from ordinary to extraordinary. People have driven cross-country on rumors alone, just for a glimpse of this legendary nickel. Some even sold family heirlooms to bid on one, because they knew, if they got it, they'd never have to work again. Think about this for a second. Every day, millions of these nickels change hands, tossed into vending machines, handed to kids for ice cream, dropped into car cup holders. Yet only a handful contain the hidden error, that tiny, nearly invisible twist of fate that transforms a 5-cent coin into a roaring fortune. Here's where it gets real. If you want to stand a chance at finding this ghost among coins, you have to learn to see beyond the ordinary. You have to look for the slight doubling in Monticello's steps, the extra soft blur on the columns, the subtle sway in the roof lines. You'll need a magnifying glass, steady hands, and a burning hunger to uncover what most people are too lazy or too blind to see. When you finally hold one, your heart will pound like a drum in your chest. Your palms might sweat. You'll hear that voice whispering, "This is it, this is your shot at freedom." And when you confirm the error, when you finally understand what you're holding, your life will never be the same again. But here's the warning: do not rush to sell. Too many collectors get blinded by quick cash and let these treasures slip away for pennies on the dollar. Know your buyer. Get multiple appraisals. Protect your nickel like it's your future, because it is. And if you think this is just another story, let me leave you with this. Right now, in private auctions and hushed collector meetings, this 1984 Monticello Jefferson nickel with the P Mint mark has been whispered about, fought over, and ultimately sold for prices that would make your jaw hit the floor. Finally, this coin's current market value is $654K. So ask yourself, is there a nickel waiting in your pocket, begging you to look closer? Because that small, silent coin could be your one-way ticket to the life you've always dreamed of. The only question is, will you find it before someone else does? Do you know what's hiding right now in your change jar? In that dusty coffee can sitting on your shelf, or maybe even jingling in your pocket? You might think it's just a regular nickel, a piece of everyday metal that we forget without a second thought. But what if I told you that one tiny detail on a 2006 Monticello Jefferson nickel with a P mint mark could explode your entire world? What if that coin, that plain nickel you've walked past 1,000 times, could actually be your ticket to a life of freedom, adventure, and unimaginable wealth? I know it sounds impossible. But every once in a generation, a coin slips through the cracks of history, hiding secrets so explosive that even seasoned collectors lose sleep hunting it down. Imagine the moment you flip that nickel, your heart pounding, your palms sweating. And then, you see it. A single line, a slight shift, a tiny flaw invisible to the untrained eye, and suddenly, your entire reality changes. The 2006 Monticello Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark is one of the most overlooked coins in American history. It looks simple, almost forgettable. But that's exactly why it's so dangerous, because it blends in. In 2006, millions were minted in Philadelphia, each one carrying the proud Monticello design on the back. But somewhere along that unstoppable river of metal, a few coins escaped the factory with quiet imperfections, hidden die errors, and micro-doubling on the Monticello steps that only the most obsessed eyes can spot. Picture this: a young father in Ohio once bought his daughter an ice cream cone using what he thought was a regular nickel. Years later, she found that same nickel in an old jewelry box, and it turned out to be a misstruck 2006 P. Jefferson nickel worth a staggering fortune. That one coin paid off her college tuition, her father's mortgage, and left enough to build a lake house. How many stories like this are still waiting in drawers and jars across America? Let me ask you something. What would you do if you found out that your life savings have been hiding in plain sight, inside a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Would you keep it quiet? Would you sell it and disappear into the mountains, finally free from debts and bills? Or would you hold on to it, show it off at family dinners, and savor every jealous look? I bet you're thinking, okay, but how do I even know if I have this magic nickel? This is where it gets real. Look closely at the reverse side of your 2006 P nickel. Focus on the Monticello building, the steps, the windows, the slight curve of the dome. Under magnification, certain error nickels show doubling on the steps or a warped roofline. Some even carry die chips on the right side, giving the illusion of an extra column. If you see even the faintest sign of these anomalies, stop everything. You may be holding a key that could unlock a whole new life, but be careful. The moment you announce you have one of these nickels, the vultures will circle. Dealers might try to snatch it for a fraction of its true value. Online buyers might flood you with offers designed to confuse and trap you. That's why you need to move like a ghost, quiet, patient, and absolutely certain of every step. Have your coin certified by a trusted grading service, never ship it without insurance, and don't let excitement blind you to the sharks circling your fortune. This nickel isn't just a piece of metal. It's a symbol of second chances, of miracles we never expect. It's proof that in a world obsessed with speed and newness, sometimes the real treasures are sitting quietly in our pockets, waiting for someone brave enough to look. Imagine telling your friends that a 5-cent piece just bought you a new house. Imagine holding that coin in your hand, feeling its weight, knowing it carries the power to erase years of struggle in a single sale. That feeling? It's electric. It's life-changing. And it's yours for the taking. If you have the courage to check. Tonight, when you pour out your change, I want you to feel that rush. That electric whisper in your mind saying, what if? Because what if today is the day you find it? What if this ordinary nickel is the missing piece in your story of freedom? You'll never know unless you look. Finally, this coin's current market value is $649K. So go ahead. Dig through those old jars, flip those nickels, and dare to dream a little bigger tonight. Because that one nickel could be the moment your life truly begins. You're standing at a grocery checkout, mindlessly flipping a nickel between your fingers, thinking it's just another piece of loose change. But what if I told you that exact nickel could be the key to breaking free from your 9-to-5 grind forever? What if that small coin, that 2022 Jefferson nickel with a P mint mark, was hiding a secret so powerful it could transform your entire future overnight? Hold on tight, because after you hear this, you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. That in 2022, millions of these nickels poured out of the Philadelphia Mint, a flood of ordinary-looking coins destined for soda machines and parking meters. But within this ocean of metal, a handful escaped with a flaw so rare, so mysterious, that even seasoned collectors can't stop whispering about it. You see, mistakes at the mint are like lightning strikes, unpredictable, unstoppable, and capable of shocking the entire numismatic world. And this particular error? It involves a subtle die clash that leaves a ghostly outline of Monticello where it should never be, and an eerie doubling on Jefferson's eye that almost feels like he's watching you, guarding his secret. Imagine discovering that in your coin jar. Just think, you might have walked past a fortune every day of your life, not even realizing you were holding a small empire between your fingers. And yet, here we are, missing it, distracted by our screens, our bills, our endless routines. Why does this happen? Because we're trained to overlook the small things. We toss our nickels into tip jars, leave them rattling in our car cup holders, and never ask what stories they're carrying. But this 2022 Jefferson nickel, this unassuming slice of metal, is a silent rebel. It refuses to be ordinary. It holds a whisper from the mint floor, a hush-hush mistake that snuck past inspections and now lives quietly in the wild, waiting to be discovered by someone bold enough to look. Can you feel it? That pulse in your fingertips? That rush that says, check every nickel before it's too late. Because each passing day, more of these rare nickels vanish into private collections, never to resurface. And every day you wait, someone else cashes in on your missed opportunity. That I know what you're thinking. How can you tell if you've got the golden goose of nickels? It starts with patience and a sharp eye. Hold the coin up to a bright light and tilt it slowly. Look closely at Monticello. Do you see an extra faint outline, a ghostly doubling? Check Jefferson's eye. Is there a strange shadow, an unexpected ridge? That's the hidden fingerprint of $1 million error. That's the clue that turns a nickel into a legend. Collectors have been known to pay staggering prices for these error nickels, because each one is a freak accident of history, a frozen moment that slipped through the cracks of perfection. These coins are not just metal, they're living proof that mistakes can be more valuable than perfection itself. Now, before you rush off to rummage through your coin stash, hear this. The biggest mistake you can make isn't missing the error, it's selling too soon, too cheap, or to the wrong buyer. Patience isn't just a virtue, it's a vault. Hold your coin close, consult reputable grading services, and never let fear or excitement trick you into a quick sale. Because the right moment, the right auction, can change everything. Imagine walking into your bank tomorrow to cash a coin for over $500,000. Imagine the disbelief on the teller's face, the way your hands would tremble as you realize that your life is about to break wide open. The dream of freedom, of spontaneous adventures, of never worrying about the price of anything ever again, it's closer than you think. Your journey starts now. Tonight, after you watch this, I want you to turn on a lamp, grab that jar of nickels, and start looking. Because the universe doesn't just hand out fortunes, it hides them, dares you to find them, and rewards those who have the courage to look deeper. Finally, this coin's current market value is $643K. So what are you waiting for? Go. Because that small, silver guardian in your pocket might just be the ticket to the life you've been dreaming of.